it's Amy here. I hope you're all doing well. I tried to record this video yesterday, but due to the light it was really difficult, so I'm trying to record it again and I'm thinking it might work this time. So I'm doing another bit in my series of all my colouring books and completed pages, and today we're looking at Eriy and Melpomeni. So I will get cracking. So we will start with Romantic Country, the first tale, and we'll flip from the back. So what's quite astonishing about Eriy is she draws all of her colouring books with a toothpick. Just astonishing. And the images are just simply stunning. That's the first one. So I found the paper quite difficult. I haven't yet, I don't think, found a way I'm really happy with it. So I tend to base with Inktense and then go over with Black Widow pencils. I have done, I think, one or two with just pencil, but I tend to like to use a water medium and then go in with pencils. So yeah, this one I really wanted a pink house with pink tablecloths. I always like to try and get rid of the lines because it's drawn with a toothpick. Some of the lines can be quite thick and prominent. But yeah, I really like this one. It's one of my favourite ones, that one. Then this one was quite an early on one. This definitely would have been Inktense and Black Widows. The house, the windows have got glossy accents on them. I tend to use a lot of, like I said, a lot of acrylic paint pens to get rid of the black lines. These rabbits don't have a base, they're just pencil. So there's a fruit, I think, and the basket. But yeah, that's that one. Then this was one of the first ones I ever did. I really like this one. I need to try and work out what I did it with. So I know the background is Distress ink. I think it's wilted violet and a soot one, black soot. Then this is all Inktense, I think, and probably Black Widows. I would say, but I really like the way this one turned out. It's one of my absolute favourite. I just love this blue denim effect I got on the shirt. That's that one. So yeah, Distress Oxide works really well. This one I also really love. I can't tell whether I base this or not. I know this is probably Neo Colour 2 in the background. I know I use Neo Colour 2 and Inktense as my kind of wet mediums, but a lot of this just looks like pencil. I can't be sure, but that again, I really like that one. That was a fun one. This one I absolutely adore. This was inspired by Elm Colours. This was definitely based with Inktense, I would say. This was Graphitint. This was actually Staedtler Norris, which have got some really nice pinks in. Hence the reason that they are in the background. I just love that one. One of my favourite pages, I think. Just the whole light effects that I managed to get, and then just the watercolour. I think that's Inktense in the bottom as well. So I'll just put the thingy back for that one. You can see a sneak peek of a page I've just finished for July. Finished this one at the weekend. This was definitely Inktense base. But actually I use polychromos as my shading pencils. I quite like doing that. That was quite nice. I didn't like this hedge. But I liked all the different greens I used. This one again was this one is one of the first ones I've ever did. So a lot of this is just with pencil. This has got an Inktense and this has got Inktense in the background. This is Distress Oxide in the background because I wanted it to look like brown, kind of old parchment paper. But I really like the way that one turned out. That's one of the first ones I did in this book. So that's all I've done in Romantic Country, the first tale. Then Romantic Country, the second tale. I did this one last year. And I love the purple and gold in this. There's lots of metallic watercolour that I used on there. Lots of Sakura Jelly Roll Glaze. That's some Pentel Jewel Hybrid. And this was definitely Inktense without a shadow of a doubt. This I did, I believe, as a buddy colour. I believe that was done with JI Colorist. That looks like a Neo Colour 2 background. I had a bit of bleed through from another page and nearly ripped it all off. I'm not sure if I used Inktense here. It could possibly just be pencils. But I like the way this one turned out. Again, I've got a pink house. I've got some metallic gel pen on the gate. And a purple and yellow combo again. I don't think I used Inktense on this one. That looks just like pencil to me. And this one, hence the bleed through, was a complete disaster. I think I finished this one a couple of months ago. I tried to use, there was a lot of bleed through from the previous page. And so I was trying to cover that up. And I thought distress ink would do it, and then it all went wrong. And so I just acrylic painted it and spattered it with white. But I like the way this bit turned out. There's definitely Inktense used in there. I like her dress. I like the garland, but the background was just a bit of a disaster. Then this one I absolutely adore. Acrylic paint in the background with some Stickles glitter glue. I went for purple leaves, which was a bit of a fantasy thing, but yeah, hate the light source, but you can't win everything. Then this one I don't like at all. Too much going on the page, too many colours used. I wish I just used a really reduced palette. Lots of metallic paint on here, but I don't like the background. I don't think I like anything about that page. But you win some, you lose some. This one I did as a buddy colour, but I can't remember who with. This I think was an Inktense background. I've got some metallic watercolour on her wings, pencil jewel hybrid on her dress, lots of Posca paint pens to go around the flowers. I really like this one. This one's probably one of my favourites that I've done in an Eriy book. I think that's it in the second tail. Then in the third tail, I think I've done a few more. This one I absolutely love. I was inspired by, I think, a Chris Cheng image on Instagram. I love the way the houses were all black. This is got a metallic watercolour paint for the moon in the background. I can't remember what I did the background with. Probably Neo Colour 2. Yeah, by the turquoise I think it was. And then I went over that with pencils, used some Posca. And I just love this page. Then I did this one last month, and this was a buddy colour. I was inspired by some waters I'd seen in Cornwall. I think it was gardens somewhere. I decided to do them pink. I used a Galaxy glitter acrylic top coat, lots of dough and Inktense. I just had a blast with this page, really. That was that one. Can't remember when I did this one. This was definitely looks like it's got some Inktense. There's got some KJ designed by Karen watercolour on the gramophone. I like the way the bottles have turned out. I love the suitcases. I like that page, and I even quite like the trees, and normally I don't like the trees I do in Eriy books. This one was epic. Absolutely epic page. I knew I wanted a teal sofa. I knew I wanted dark red walls. It was epic. It took forever, but I am very, very happy with the result. There's lots of kind of metallics, so Cura Jelly Roll glaze. It was epic. It's going to take me a while again to do a book page. Let's put it that way. This one I took from inspiration from Instagram. I wanted to reflect the castle in the ice. I don't like the way the ice turned out, because I think I tried to reflect too much stuff. But I love the castle. I love the trees with the snow on. The sky's fine. I just think this water went a bit wrong. But I think it gives you the effect of the ice in the water. I've got some I've got some dragonfly glaze on the water, which gives it like a shimmery blue feel, and I've also got some cosmic shimmer on galaxy glitter on the top, not cosmic shimmer, galaxy glitter in clear comet on the top as well. So yeah, I really like that page as well. So that's all of the romantic countries. Then I can't remember which one is which. I think this is the fairy tale book. I've not done many in here. I did this one fairly recently. This was to celebrate the Chinese New Year. I knew I wanted black, red, gold and orange. This I think I did with an acrylic marker. This is Chromatech glitter gel pen. The gold is like a KJ design by Karen metallic watercolour. The red and the black, actually the black may be Crayola Super Tip. I think it is. The black and the red is Crayola Super Tip. I had real fun. It was just such a reduced colour palette, but I just love the shimmery nature of it. And I just think it looks really striking. So that was that one. Then we have this one. This was when Wicked came out. I love each individual vignette, if you like, but I hate the background. I wish I'd not done the background like I've done it. But, you know, you win some, you lose some. I wish I'd done it one colour or something like that. But I love the Green Witch. I love all of them individually. I just don't like the background. Oh, I'm tired. I love this page. This is just such an adorable little page. I think this is probably one of the first ones I did in this book. And I've got no idea what I coloured with. Probably Inktense, some metallic watercolour paint. And these would be two TBC Silky crayons in the background. But I just think that one is so cute. Then we have this, and I think this was for Mermaid last year. I'm not sure. This looks like Derwent Inktense to me. I've got like an Ariel mermaid. I love this purple. This is a Calero watercolour paint. And I love the yellow against the kind of, and on the top of the water I have a Art Spirits sparkly paint, and it's still intact, which is fabulous. And I got some liquid pearls on her headband as well. Really like that page. It was a fun one to do. Then this was also one of the first double page I did in this book. This one was a labour of love. I think this was all pencil. I don't think there's any watercolour mediums in here at all. I think the background is a TBC Silky crayon. And it took forever, but I do like the colours. It's Rapunzel, I think, which goes in with the colours she had entangled. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, but a lot of work. So that was the fairy tale book. Then I have world literature, and I've not done many in here because this was new to me at Christmas. And I did Anne of Green Gables, one of my favourite things. I read all the books when I was little, and I watched the kind of, it was a TV series, I think. Yeah, that's her at the train station. I've got some glossy accents on the windows. Lots of Inktense used here. I remember doing that. So yeah, I like the way that one turned out. And I think that's the only one I've done in here. Yeah, it is. So there's a couple more I want to get. I saw one on, whose channel was it? Maybe Colouring with Maya. She had like a magical one, and I quite fancy getting that one. And then of course the new book, which is in a smaller format. So yeah, that's all my Eriy books. That's all I've got. So I want 2 more to add to my collection. I'm getting to the point where my cupboard isn't going to hold much more. Then I have 3 Melpomeni books. I have Dream Voyage, Enchanted Earth and Circle of Life. And we will start with Circle of Life. I pulled this book out to do something in this month. I've got quite a few coloured in this book. So this is the first one. I tend to use polychromos, Black Widows. I've taken to basing with Albert Dürer. It likes watercolour in this book. So yeah, it's got a lot of watercolour for the sun's rays and some Stickles glitter glue as well for the glitter. And I've got the peacock. This is all polychromos, and there's this tiny bit of stickles around, just around the outside, and that's, I think, then got some watercolour. Probably, it looks like Inktense. It's kind of in between, very light green, and this is, I hate this brown that I did on the ground. It just looks just awful, looks like sick. So yeah, gross. And this was something that Suzanne did. So she used Inktense, but then activated the Inktense with the metallic watercolour, and it gave us this wonderful, very solid effect and worked really, really nicely. That's that one. This one I did last year when my husband was in hospital. He loves macaws, and I thought I would do one to dedicate to him. Love the colours. I like the fact I did different colour leaves. This is definitely watercolour in the background. I just love the vibrancy of that one, and it's nice to have double page next to each other finished. Then we have this one. This all looks like pencil to me. I don't think there's any. There's metallic watercolour on the water, but I don't think that anything else is like based with water, based with a water medium. Whereas this one is. This was based with Albert Dürer, and then I went in with pencil, but I couldn't tell you whether it's polychromos or Black Widows. There is some dragonfly glaze on the water, but yeah, I really like that one. Then we have the tortoise. I would say this is, the background is probably water medium. I wouldn't say, I don't tend to do all pencil backgrounds, and that is for sure. There's some stickles. This yellow sun at one point did have some Spectrum Noir glitter brush pen. It does have a little bit still if you hold it in the light. Lots of stickles. I just think I like the blue against the brown with that one, and there's some neon on these fish. Then we did this one fairly recently. This wasn't my favourite nor my best. Polychromos, lots of Posca. I think I based it with Albert Dürer. Yeah, not my favourite. There's some stickles here and there, and I think I've outlined the water with like a clear Sakura jelly roll. So that's that one. And then we have this one. This all looks like pencil work to me. This is probably Inktense, but I wouldn't think it'd be much more than that. I would go into much more depth with these mountains now. And then we have some stickles glitter glue for the sun. Then I love these two pages. This I think is the first page I used Albert Dürer on. I absolutely loved it. I used them both wet and dry. The water is a metallic watercolour paint. I just love the colours and the depth in that one. This I think it was Black Widows, and it's one of the first pictures I ever did in this book, and I absolutely love it to this day. And I love having them both done next to one another. These two. This looks just like polychromos with no other, no water medium activated. I put some Cosmic Shimmer texture paste around the outside of the acorn. And this one, I definitely use water mediums on, and I pressed so hard that I got indentations on the page behind it, which is so odd because I don't normally have problems with that. Then there is some Cosmic Shimmer in the background for that one. I like that one, but it's not my favourite. Not my favourite. Then we have the crab. I like this one. I like, you know, that he's on the beach and he's in the sea. Lots of neon fish. That was a really fun one to do. And there's lots of kind of metallic gold gel pen on the crab. And this one I did in January 2022. I cannot believe I had this book that long. And this looks like Staedtler fine liner in the background. The fish certainly would be Staedtler fine liner. And it looks like there's lots of metallic gel pen on the octopus. Not octopus, are they octopus? Jellyfish. On the jellyfish. I think it's quite striking and I quite like that. Then we have these two. This I did in April 2022. This is a page my daughter picked, and I would never have picked it on my own. This is all pencil as well, but I like the way that one looks, especially next to this one. This one I did in August 2022. I wish I'd got back to I need to get back to putting dates on my work. And there's metallic watercolour in the water. I'm not sure if this has got any water mediums in apart from watercolour. That's that one, and that is it in Circle of Life, and that is the book with the most in, because I've had it longer. I'm back in there. Then Dream Voyage. I think I've only done one in here. Yeah, just this one. This was all Albert Dürer based, and then I probably went in with Black Widows. The sky was a little bit more orange than that I intended. I think I wanted it more red, but the colour went down. I was like, okay, that's fine. But I do love the contrast of the turquoise and the orange. When I first saw this book with a flip through, I really didn't like these animals, and it put me off it. But then I saw more and more people colour the book, and I was like, oh no, I really have to have it in my collection. So I got it, and you know what? They didn't bother me. I just went completely random with the colours, and I didn't care. So that does make life a little bit easier when you just kind of go, oh, I'll just do it to whatever's happening in my picture. So that really helped, I think. But that is the only one I have in the Dream Voyage. And then I have Enchanted Earth. I have a few more in here. This is a stunning book. And this one, this is definitely got, I think this may be all pencil, you know. This was done for a cactus prompt. The background is, it looks like TBC Silky crayons with some Stickles glitter glue, and then up here is some Cosmic Shimmer Opal Blaze in Sunset Glaze or Blaze or something. Yeah, quite like this one. Not much more to say about it, really. This one I did as a full colour along on the channel, which I will link up here if I can. This is much more vibrant than a lot of the other things. This definitely looks as though it was based with Albert Dürer or Inktense and gone in them with pencils, and you can see just the depth I was getting in the water there. I love the clouds, and then I just love how the black just brings all the colours to life. And there's some stickles on there as well. Yeah, like I said, that's a full colour along on the channel. Then we have this one, which I think I did last year. Love the top half. The black bottom half, I think the purple trees don't quite work. And it just doesn't feel as though it hangs together. I knew what I was going for, but it didn't quite work. So that's that one. This one I absolutely adore. This would be based with Albert Dürer. Yeah, I love the background with this, with the black stickles and the red stickles, and then the blue just pops. I love this page. It's one of my favourite pages I think I've ever done in this book. And then the final one, and I think this was the first page I ever did in this book. I'm a musician, so of course I would choose one with a keyboard. This has definitely got Albert Dürer on it and Black Widows. There's some dragonfly glaze in the water. There's some ink spatter. There's Pentel Jewel Hybrid. There's just everything. That's it. That is all my completed pages and all my books from Melpomeni and Eriy. So yeah, I'm getting there with my collection. I don't know what I'm going to do next, but I also have my A to Z series that I want to do a little bit more on as well, because I've just hit I, so I need to work out how I'm going to do that video. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.